Internet. Welcome back to That Silverline Show on Tuesday. I'm your host, Tim TK, joined as always by Jose Fuentes.
Hello, everybody.
And Ron Fortier.
Howdy, all.
And tonight is the launch party for Ron's new comic, Beyond the Stars. This is a ongoing space opera, and we are hitting number 5 tonight, I believe.
Yeah, with one left to go before we wrap it all up. It's a 6-issue miniseries.
It is. And, of course, you can hit that with the link wherever that pops up in the description or comments, as well as, where is our bottom third? We have so many things in our widgets now. Jose, where's the bottom third thing that you found earlier?
Banners. Second one down.
I have like 15 folders of banners, not just ours.
Okay, no worries.
There it is. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, yes. So you can go to Silverline Comics crowdfunder.com, and that will route you to the link. Or you can go to fundmycomic.com, and we are on the front page there. And that is Beyond the Stars. You'll see it's labeled 1 through 5 because, of course, like with all of our previous crowdfunding efforts, if you wish to, you can get all the back issues included.
And get caught right up.
Absolutely.
Right.
So we have our splash page here. And we have not gone live yet. We will go live later tonight. It's running through May 5th. I believe the last time you did a crowdfund, though, Ron, you got funded in less than a day, less than 2 days.
Mere moments.
Yeah, it was less than a day. It's less than 24 hours, which was pretty amazing, and I am humbled by it and grateful. Those are, you're seeing one of the covers, and again, that's the site that we're hoping that you and all our listeners here will go to maybe later tonight, tomorrow, and spread the word. Tell your friends. Obviously, I'm hoping that those folks who have been following us on this journey through issues 1 and 4 are more than anxious and anticipating getting their hands on issue number 5. I will tell you all, this is one of the most action-packed issues of the series to date as we lead up to the climatic finale in issue number 6, which is coming along. I think we're about 85 to 90% finished with it. So that could conceivably get out by the end of the year as well. Fingers crossed.
Absolutely. I mean, even just with this A cover here, you get a great idea of like the tone we're saying of this issue, and the fantastic action set piece it got put on the front. Of course, we talked about a lot of it last week, but the mix of ancient Grecian style armor and aesthetic mixed with the sci-fi opera.
I mean, those are aesthetic choices by Andrea, and we'll get into that tonight because last week, any of our listeners who listened to our show last week, we were wrapping up the show last week, and David asked me a question about what was it about Andrea's sample pages that he had posted on social media that captivated me so much and got me involved with him wanting to know more about what was going on and ultimately creating Beyond the Stars. So if you want, Tim, at any time now, why not show those alternate covers up close? Hey, Dave.
I think they look pretty, but I'm biased.
All right. Okay. So if you can, Tim, cover A.
Okay. Let's cover A there. Boom. Boom. And boom.
All right. Cover A by the co-creator of the series himself, Andrea Bormida. And that's one of the big battle sequences that happens inside the issue, where Ermit, the science warrior you see on the cover, is battling stone sentries that become animated and attack them. It's a great cover. It's absolutely beautiful, and hopefully it will pull in viewers when they see it. He's done a cover for each of the previous 4 issues, and one of our co-hosts here has also done that himself. So that's cover A, and now cover B. And Jose, you did a cover, right?
Rob's. Yeah, that's Rob's. That's beautiful.
That's Rob's. All right. Again, another sequence, which I'm going to explain what's going on in issue 5 as we get into all this. But Rob Davis, this isn't the first alternate cover Rob's done for us. I think he's done 2 others in the past. And this is, again, another action sequence. And that's a science warrior flying an alien bubble craft and being attacked by alien bugs, giant bugs, whatever. They're on this quest, and every time they go to a new dimension, there are new challenges for them to overcome.
I want one of those bubble space
Oh,
things.
the inspiration for that, guys, was the bubble time machine that George Pal created in that old Time Machine movie with Rod Taylor, which always fascinated me because he was sitting in this bubble and going through time. And sitting in the bubble, he'd see all the world around him change as he was going to the future or the past or whatever. And I love that concept, especially I could use it in the science fiction motif, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they depicted that really well. Was it Guy Pearce's The Time Machine? The way they showed time just progressing so fast and whatnot. So
yeah,
I get that.
Well, I guess we can say it's probably a good idea there's no dinosaurs around, or else we will have a recreation of Jurassic Park. At least there's the bugs flying around.
Yeah.
Only a matter.
Right. So now, cover number C.
Oh, that was so cool. I'm sorry.
There you go. I did not know who did these covers initially, but I am discovering that myself.
Yeah, that I've not seen it colored. That I did the pencils for that. I've not seen it colored though.
Oh, it came out great, Jose. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
All right, and that's 2 of the principal characters. That's Cal, the chief of the science warriors, standing there over Ermit, who has been knocked down by one of those stone warriors. She comes to his rescue, and there's a lot more action to go before this particular battle sequence is done. But it's totally dramatic. I love the composition, Jose. It really, really works well.
That was awesome.
Ah.
Absolutely.
So hey, you know, all our fans and readers out there have some choices to make, right? Even better yet, get all 3 covers.
Yes. All right.
Thanks, Cliff.
Thank you. All right. Okay, so hey, look, I sent you guys a whole bunch of artwork today because, again, you know, this is a launch party, and I wanted to play up some things. And Dave, before you signed on tonight, I mentioned the fact that as we ended last week's episode, you had asked me about those initial 6 pages that I had found that Andrea had done that, you know, absolutely mesmerized me and eventually got me involved with doing this. Bless you, Jose.
Thank you. Sorry.
Anyways, so I thought, hey, look, let's start from the beginning where Beyond the Stars came from. And I passed along to you guys all 6 of those pages. Mm-hmm. So let's go through them one at a time. I'll narrate, if you will. And after we've done that, that's going to lead into an idea that I have for a game that if the 3 of you guys want to play along, we can have some fun with.
Okay, perfect.
All right. So let's start with the first page of Andrea's initial. here we go. This is the first thing I saw. This is the first page of that 6-page science fiction sequence he posted on social media on several platforms almost 3 years ago now. And if you look at what's going on, it's basically this single person solar ship flying past this planet, towards this planet, and getting ready to descend. And from it comes this female warrior in this Greek-like armor. So, I mean, already I love the composition. I love how he set up the panels, all right? I mean, I'm a sucker for science fiction. I've always been since a kid. Star Trek, Star Wars, all that stuff. I even got to work on Gene Roddenberry's Lost Universe for a couple of years. So this is right up my alley. Naturally, it captivated me. All right, so now, second page. And now it gets even more intriguing because she's on the planet itself, but where is she and what is this background? All right. At first, it's a little difficult to discern, but you start getting the sense that it's maybe some kind of ruins, an ancient city lost, you know, thousands of years on this planet at the edge of the galaxy.
Yeah, I was gonna go with temple ruins.
There you go.
Overgrown temple ruins.
Exactly. It builds on the suspense. It builds, again, on wanting to know who this character is. Why is she there? Again, Andrea does penciling, he does the inking and the coloring on all of this. I mean, how could I not be impressed? Excuse me. All right, page number 3. Yeah, and there we go. Again, he expounds on that, all right? And we see her moving through it. It's like she's looking for something. She's on some kind of a quest, maybe. He has her getting physical with the way she leaps off certain walls. But then again, we already get the vibe, I mean, with the armor and the sword, that she is a warrior of some kind. So she can, and obviously could do these physical kind of, you know, body flips, et cetera, et cetera. Again, gorgeous artwork, great panel composition. And now, here we go, pulling us further and further into this story. Where is this going? What's going to happen next? And man, isn't that what every comic artist is trying to do with every single page that they produce? Is to get you so intrigued, you want to get to the next page. You want to know what the story really is. I know I did by this point.
Okay. That insert panel is being inside of her helmet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Totally.
Also, just kind of the idea for how kind of fierce she is you know, obviously she's at the ready. She's got her shield, but also, you know, that axe has to have some pretty serious weight to it. So she's definitely portraying
not a lightweight. She's
a warrior.
All right, Tim, next page.
All righty.
And here we go. She approaches some kind of a central well, like the middle of a courtyard or whatever, and suddenly out of nowhere comes a male wearing the same kind of armor that she has. Okay, so that's some kind of a clue, all right? But hostile, obviously, because he attacks her. It's a surprise attack, all right? Yet she was somewhat prepared, as David's already alluded to, because she had her shield up. So now the fight is on full tilt. And once again, I love Andrea's choice of his points of view, all right? You have those two upper panels, which like slam bang, get you right into it, with the male characters, you know, charging full tilt into attacking her. Then he gives you a pause as she stumbles back, tries to regain her stance, and now they face off each other with that long center panel in the middle of the page, which is perfectly balanced. And then last panel of the page, full-on fighting again, back and forth between the two of them. And by now, guys, my brain's exploding. Okay, I'm like, what the heck is going on here? Who are these characters? This is just absolutely fantastic. And he even does sound effects. I mean, the man's a Renaissance comic book creator. What can I say?
Yeah. I mean, even the way that he stylized the lettering, it isn't just. We've seen artists do letters or sound effects that should be better for the letters, but they like the coloring and the composition really actually matches the action very well, and it looks like it was, very skillfully done.
It was thought out, right?
Yeah.
Meticulously, panel for panel, page for page. All right, next page. Oh, now it's just, again, back and forth, giving and taking, all right? And I just love his imagination of how he must have set this up in his mind. And I've never asked him, but I would love to see thumbnails of this page. And how, if he got it right the first time, or he had to manipulate it and play with the panels and maybe change some things. What do you think, Jose?
I think he pretty much knew his thumbnails. I've seen some of the thumbnails for some of the other pages he's done, and he does his thumbnails digitally, and they're every section has a different color. Like the line, the roughs are in a different color. And from his thumbnails to the final page, it's pretty locked on. You know what I mean? So I think he knew. I mean, Andrea's got a really good sense of just like the movement of the battle. So
yeah. Oh, it shows here, heads on. And it was one of those things that, I'll say this, Dave, it was one of those things that I remember really well from these pages, in that I knew whatever, I contributed to what was going to become the story. I definitely wanted to get him back to this kind of a sequence. But of course, I had to write the kind of story, battle that was not just a throwaway thing, that I was just padding a story or whatever. I had to come up with a narrative and a plot that would allow me these kind of sequences. And there are, up to issue number 5, there are actually 2. Well, I say 2. There's one in issue number 2, which doesn't even include these characters, but it's a similar idea of this combat situation. And then by the time we get to issue 4, that starts to rev up into issue 5, which we're releasing. And issue 5 is practically all this kind of stuff from page 1 to page 22. It's wall-to-wall action. And now the last page of the previews. And here we go. Our female protagonist, if you want to call her that, is eventually outmaneuvered by the villain of the piece, or her antagonist, because we really don't know if he's a villain yet. But he basically knocks her back into the pool, and we end the entire sequence with her underwater, looking up at him. And what's going to happen next?
There's that insert through the helmet panel. Close the loop. Yep.
I mean, again, I don't think I wasted maybe all of 10 minutes after looking at these pages like 3 or 4 times before leaving my comment and on the site,
right,
and basically saying, who the hell are you? What the hell is this all about? This is fantastic. Please, tell me more. And Andrea, 24 hours later, Andrea was writing me back and basically saying he really didn't have so much of a story as characters that he wanted to develop further and put in some kind of a story, some kind of a science fiction, science fantasy, space opera story. So he turns around and says, well, would you like to see the notes I have. And basically the notes were on his characters. So I, sure, by all means, send them along. He sends me those notes, and I start reading, and now I find out who the female is. I find out who the male is. At the same time, there's a half dozen other characters. I read through their descriptions. He was basically trying to create their motivation for who they were and what they were, what their individual roles in the story would ultimately be, fitting those pieces in together, which helped me out a great deal. So I started working on fleshing those character traits out, at the same time altering one and adding a couple of my own that would fit the narrative that I believe Andrea was looking to do, that he wanted to be something, really out there, really old-fashioned science fiction, action, adventure. And so he comes back and says, hey, I love your ideas. Give me a few days. Let me start working on character designs. And as I do the character designs, I'll send them along to you. And we'll go from there, from which, as I mentioned last week, with what he had done, how I had elaborated on it, and his character designs, that became our presentation package that we showed to Roland. And from that point on, Roland said, thumbs up, here we go. And here we are, 3 years later, releasing issue number 5, and really coming on the final issue, hopefully, like I said, fingers crossed, by the end of the year. So, if you want to go back to the first cover, first character sketch I sent. Okay. Here's the concept of Beyond the Stars. Beyond the Stars, in the far, far future, all of Star Wars, way out there in the galaxies, right? Way, way beyond. The Empire of Man is called Haven. And it's ruled, and it has been there for thousands of years, when suddenly it's threatened by this black cloud that devours planets, stars, and whatever. And so the job of saving the Empire and all of mankind falls to an elite group known as the Science Warriors. And their job, again, like I said, is to basically find a way somehow to defeat this ominous black cloud that right now has already defeated armadas and everything else. In the process of coming up with that narrative, I tweaked some of Andrea's characters and added my own characters to make it all work, so we had what we needed with top tier characters, supporting characters, and basically able to outline a 6-issue miniseries. So now, this is what I had thought would be a lot of fun if you guys are on board. We're going to show the principal characters of Beyond the Stars, starting with Cal. Cal is the chief science warrior, all right? Under the commander, she is the #1 science warrior. She's the one who gives all the others their marching orders, all right? And that is a position that she earned. And it's a combination of skill, intelligence, and fighting skills. What I want to try to do, if you guys are willing to play this, is you tell me who came up with each character. Was it me or was it Andrea? All right. And then your own thoughts on why you thought it was Andrea or me. So, I mean, this is relatively easy for all of you, obviously. Anybody want to say it?
I mean, I would say Andrea.
Yeah.
One of the main characters for, that you saw from the initial pages. So. Right.
That's the first sketch he sent me, plus the second one, which you're going to see. But obviously, everybody knows. So this is what we're going to do. Everybody knows this is Cal. So 1, 2, Each of you have a point. Go to the next character sketch. Ermit, the other science warrior, all right, that she battles. Now, why she's battling him is a key element in the plot to the first issue, which I don't want to give away spoilers to, but leave it to say Ermit was a contestant for her position in the Science Warriors. And he lost to her by just a handful of points and test scores. So there's a little bit of resentment between the two of them. But again, he's also a noble person from a noble family and basically is dedicated to the Science Warriors and will do what he has to do, including sacrifice himself to achieve a mission. So again, who created Ermit the Science Warrior?
I feel like this one is awesome, Andrea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome, the previews, yeah.
Andrea. So Andrea again. All right, and here we go. We're gonna get challenged.
Yeah, right.
All right, here we go. Next
Yeah,
character.
Oh.
All right. This is our Cal Nels and Arnell. All right. Arnell is the science mage commander of all the science warriors in the Empire. All right. He's been doing this position for most of his life. He answers only to the leader of the Empire. He is the one who ultimately, in the story, gives Cal, Ermit, and others their marching orders. He's not somebody you ever want to take off. When he says jump, you say how high. Again, powerful, powerful individual and the right man for this job. So who created him and why do you think that person did? As opposed to, me or Andrea?
I'm going to say you.
Okay, why?
Because I feel that you felt they needed somebody to direct them, right? So someone, a go-between between the emperor, the ruler and whatnot, and the science warriors. I feel maybe Andrea created the warriors, but this is I guess a plot character to help move things in directions.
Okay. I see the logic of your thinking, definitely. What about you, Tim? What do you think?
Man. I feel like this one might. I think I'm going to go with you as well on this one. Maybe a little bit differently than Jose. Is that I think the you said Andrea had like a small cast of characters he had kind of in his mind, but I think the tone of the costuming is different enough that I feel like it came from once the collaboration started.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's a different way to look at that. Oh, cool. Finally, David, what do you think?
My initial thought was also that you had the major input. Obviously, Andrea when did the design, but I'm very aligned with what Jose said, where having a structured person, and this person seems more of the the guy that's running the show, the guy that he's not in there doing the action and he's not doing that part. he is very much shows strength, but he's also a scholar and all that. That's why I tend to lean more towards your initial.
All right. So all three of you say I created Arnell. Wrong.
Oh!
Yeah, I thought that was going to be the case.
No, Arnell was there from the original sketches that Andrea sent me. He had obviously fleshed out his concept of science warriors, and per what your own logic, what you guys are talking about, he had come to that conclusion, before I got involved,
Okay.
that they would need, a top head. Okay, the Dwight Eisenhower of day. This is the general pattern of science warriors. So okay, first one, 0, guys.
Man.
All right, on to the next one.
All right, where is that one? There it is.
Our next strategy should just be Andrea did them all, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, this is Ant Heem. All right, he, excuse me, is also a science warrior, but a more intellectual science warrior, more geared to the science. He abhors violence, eschews from it, doesn't like to get involved with it, but he is that brilliant where he has worked his way into becoming Arnell's chief aide and lieutenant in the labs of Haven. Okay? So, like I said, kind of the super nerd kind of guy. He'd be the last guy who would volunteer to go on any kind of mission that might get him killed. So, Jose, who came up with Ant Heem?
I'm going to say that you came up with him because he looks like you.
Okay.
I mean that in the absolute most loving way possible.
Okay. I was not expecting that.
That's funny.
Needs a mustache though.
Yeah. We have something in common. Yeah.
I feel Ron would rock that little halfy beard goat thing.
Well, I guess I'll go next. I think Andrea created him. And
Okay.
my reasoning behind this is especially after our last conversation, I kind of get the feeling that he was creating a well-rounded cast. He's got, if you look at the characters, there's a lot of fighters, there's a lot of that, but this guy is so anti. I mean, my initial thought looking at him is, oh, this guy's a monk. This guy's gonna, break out with some, specific fighting styles and all that stuff. But the description of him being essentially a pacifist is,
right.
I think, is a good countermeasure to the other characters. Given the fact that you said that Chris has thought out and planned these characters, I'm gonna go.
Okay. So you're thinking Andrea did. You're thinking Andrea came up with this character as well. Okay. Tim, what do you say?
Well, now kind of taking in the loss in the last character. I think maybe kind of also taking on what the information we get from David now. Maybe he is central enough to the core concept that this is also Andrea. That this is part of the sort of an initial mind jump that was the created the universe. So maybe this is also Andrea.
All right. Okay, so Andrea created Anheen.
Okay.
Sorry, Jose, but I got to say, you guys picked up on that. Andrea, as I said earlier, when we were talking about the sketches he'd done, Andrea's really a brilliant storyteller, and he is interested in character and motivation. And he, to me, was something I loved, that how he made that shift from these gung-ho characters to somebody that was much more reserved and, you know, even a little bit be cowardly, all right? Realizing that was going to be something I could play with in writing the script, because he was that counterpoint to what Andrea had done up until now. So now, okay, David and Tim have 3 points. Jose has 2. Let's go to the next character. And here we have Modena Elkea VI, better known as the All-Mother, supreme ruler of Haven and the Empire of Maine. She's the one who, at the beginning in issue number 1, has this dream whereby she sees the black cloud. And it's like a mystic vision. She believes it entirely, and upon awakening, gathers the council of the planets, including Arnell, and explains the threat that's coming to the Empire. Who created the All-Mother? Jose.
Oh, I'm gonna stick to every bullet in my chamber. I think I'm gonna go ahead and say you did. She's the so I feel that you created her. She's the instigation of the story, and Andrea created the characters with some, you know, great concepts for the characters, not just designs and whatnot. But I feel that you wrote her in so that you had a basis to jump the threads for the storyline.
All right. Cool. Okay. What do you say, Tim?
I know, dude. I know.
Yeah, I know. It's an interesting one. I'll have to maybe toss this one to you, Ron. I think this might be where we're diverging from kind of the core concept into the expanded storytelling. So I think this, okay, kind of where originally I thought we were going with Arnaud. I think this might be where where you might see hints of the collaboration starting and broadening the universe.
All right. What do you say, Dave?
I see the point that Tim was talking about, but I just see this character as being somebody that just feels like they're so integral to the story and or integral to the team. I'm going to go with Andrea again, because I think this is a pretty strong character that I think gives weight to the characters in the story. I think it's pretty vital, and I know you worked on it collaboratively and developed it together. This doesn't seem like somebody who was added on after an initial thought process. So I'm gonna go with Andrea.
All right.
That's a valid reason.
Yeah, and I appreciate those comments, especially a lot, David, as she is my character.
Woo!
Yeah.
Great.
Nice.
Yes,
right.
wait, I just won that one.
Yes, you did.
I lost.
Yeah, I mean, again, for the reasons that Tim stated earlier too, I was in love with all of Andrea's characters, and if we're going to do the science fiction space saga, then that whole concept of empire had come to me. And I could not see just stopping with Arnell, because then we would have given it this tone of this militaristic empire, which isn't what I wanted to do. And I don't think Andrea did as well. So I suggested the All Mother to him. He got back to me really excited about the idea, and even suggested he patented her after Judi Dench. That's where his inspiration for the All Mother came.
Dame Judi Dench.
There you go, right? Because we wanted to give this woman this aged look of wisdom, serenity, and the tag. She loves her people. All right, and it was another layer to the story. And I appreciate your comments, you know, Dave, as far as it's a, hopefully the readers saw this flawless, Andrea and I work together. It's our presentation. It's our creations together. And that's why I wanted to do this tonight, because I thought it would be fun to challenge you guys to see, how we work together and what we came up with. So next character, Tim. All right. Now that says Art, but that isn't the character's name. This is a character named Slouse, and he is the ghost of an ancient alien race that once encountered the black cloud and defeated it. Who came up with Slouse?
I'm going to go with you on this, Ron.
Okay.
And my thinking on this is, I think that the initial thoughts probably revolved a little more around the Greek, and I think that a lot of what you brought in was a lot more of the focus on the cloud and all this. So that's my thinking behind it, is this character is dealing with the older past, the ancient parts of it, and is more focused on the cloud side, which is very similar to the last character that you created. So that's the direction I'm going.
All right. I get that. Totally logical. Tim.
I'm going to say this might be a trick question, because if I remember, there's a character you talked about last time. I think the initial concept was Andrea's, but this is the character that you said needs to be an alien, so he came back and revisited it. So I'm going to say that it's truly a combination of the two. That this is the character that you said needs to be alien, so I'm not sure how you want to credit that.
All right. So you say, well, all right, okay, I hear what you're saying. We'll talk about that after Jose has it, right?
I'm going to say that's you, Ron, and my reasoning for it is plot device.
There you go. About as basic storytelling as you can get. Okay, so yeah, good memory, Tim, on what we talked about last week. Right, this Art was a human character and another science warrior. Okay, that we literally had too many of, as far as I saw, and the whole fact that this was going to be science fiction, I wanted some aliens in there, and suggested to Andrea that we make him an alien. Again, Andrea was right on board. So basically, I'm going to take credit, i.e., for Slough, meaning all of you got it right, and you all got a point for this particular character. Well, guys. All right, next character. All right, this is Yonel Trevain. He is the Empire's leading archaeologist who has studied those alien ancient races that ruled that part of space billions of years ago and then vanished. And he is called upon when the threat of the black cloud happens. What do you think?
Oh. I'm gonna say Andrea.
Okay. Why Andrea?
Because I kept saying you. Um, I don't know. I just get a feel that that he created the character. Obviously, you created the storyline, the reasoning, but the character was created by him.
Okay.
I just have a feeling.
Okay.
I'm going to say Ron, because from having experience as a writer, occasionally you'll come into moments where you'll write something and say like, ah, crap, I need an archaeologist or something like that. So I think this might be one of those characters.
Yeah, that's a very familiar plot device in comic writing, right, Tim? We do it all the time.
You run up to something like, I need to introduce an expert.
Right? It's like the barkeep, right?
All right, Dave, break the tie here. What do you think?
I'm going to go with you as well. The reason being that I think it goes into that support structure for the alien in the main fight. Although, I wouldn't put it behind him adding to, Andrea adding to the team, but I think the character, the way the character is on that side, plus they seem like they were coming in later. I'm gonna go with you as well.
All right. Okay. Yonel Tremaine is my character. So Tim and David pull it off. And now on to the next character. The plots and the story is developing. And here we have Isbrit. Isbrit is a science warrior, badly wounded in a previous engagement prior to this story. And she was augmented with cyber limbs and attachments. She is super powerful because of those attachments, but again, also a dedicated science warrior with the same background and training as the others. Who created her?
Andrea.
Jose says Andrea.
And I only say that because I like the character in the story.
Okay.
And I feel in regards to her design, a lot was like it was thought out quite a bit, and I think he already had that character beforehand.
All right, cool. Tim?
Yeah, that's probably say Andrea as well, because the character concept feels like it could be like part of that initial thought process or initial conceptualization that happened at the origination.
Okay. What do you say, Dave?
I'm going to say Andrea as well. I think it does also follow that initial design and feel of the main characters and the quote unquote honor guard type feel. But the thing that does trick me a bit and would lean me a little towards you is, some of the revelations that happen with the, I won't go into much detail of pointing at you, but the decision to stay where she is rather than to go one way or the other, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, okay. I know exactly what you're saying. All right.
I know that you have a lot of input in it.
Yeah, I'm going to address that because I'm glad you said it, and I'm not spoiling it. First of all, for the game, all of you got it right. Andrea created Isbrit. Okay, totally. I fell in love with this character.
Heck
Right.
yeah.
I mean, I saw so much potential for what I could do with her. And what David's alluding to is in one of the issues, and I believe it was probably issue number 3, all right, something happens to Isbret that is more than just action adventure and the mission, all right? It affects her psychologically really, really deeply. And as a writer, Tim, I know you're going to get this. It just added so many layers to the script of what I was writing. All right. And I'd like to believe that our readers, when they came across that particular sequence and how it evolved and resolved itself, weren't expecting anything like what they got. It was one of those fun moments when I got really, really creative with this character, this storyline. All right, next character.
Do we want to point out the campaign's
Yes,
live?
the campaign is now live. So the link is in the chat. It's at the bottom of your screen as well. So go ahead and get your pre-orders placed. Again, this is a Silverline pre-order campaign. So that means the comic is fully completed. You're not crowdfunding some pipe dream that will never come to fruition. You're placing a pre-order in a way that makes it easier to pay for the cost of production. So again, the comic's coming out whether you like it or not. This is just your chance to place a pre-order and maybe get some extra goodies on top of it.
We'll show the page again, okay, Tim, before we wrap it up?
Yes.
We'll definitely show the page again. Hi, Brant.
And we have a Brant.
Hey, sorry, I'm late.
Sorry you came in on late. We were having some fun playing a game here, and we're going to be wrapping that up. This is character number 9 from Beyond the Stars, Natalie, space smuggler who can pilot any spacecraft ever built. Okay, Jose, who created her, me or Andrea?
You.
Boy, that was fast.
You needed something to offset the Roman Grecian science warriors, and we always have to have what's his name, the dude from Spaceballs. I mean, not that she's a comedic character, but like you always have to have like that, the smuggler, the scoundrel in there, and I think that you threw that in there.
Okay, Tim.
I mean, there is something to be said about the writer's tropes, in that you always need to have 3 factions in a story: the good, the bad, and the ugly. And the ugly just means the weird or the morally gray, and this could easily fall into like one of those types of characters. But I think honestly, like, this might fall into Ron. You have a lot of experience writing wheelman type characters from things such as Green Hornets. I think maybe it could be some influence of that in space. So I think Natalie is your character as well.
Okay, and David.
I agree, Ron, as well. This just adds a bit of intrigue and a bit of spice to the cast and everything. And I think that being a writer, that's exactly what you would weigh in, that this was needed. So that's the direction I'm going.
Okay. Hey, Brent, you wanna chime in?
So the question is, who created?
The artist or the writer?
Well,
co-created Beyond the Stars 6-issue Space Saga miniseries.
right. I'm gonna go with you, Ron, just because I just have a really good feeling about this one. So
All right. Well, you're all right. And I created Natalie. And remember, we talked earlier about Andrea's gift for writing fighting sequences. We first meet her in issue number 2 when they come to recruit her and find her in a space bar where she's taken on like about 6 different big, heavy characters all by her lonesome. She's a great character. She's tons of fun to write. All right, and so now we have one character left, which Jose is going to get a blast out of. And this was one of the alternate covers that Jose did for us. And that little wing character is a Scully Flyer. It belongs to the archaeologist Yonel Trevane, and is a pest, is a companion.
You can see it flying around by him.
Who created the Scully Flyer for Trevane? Jose?
You, because you needed more aliens. And let's be honest, who doesn't?
All right. What do you say, Tim?
I'm going to go with Andrea because it feels like a very artist thing to do, to draw your cat and insert it into a story you're working on.
He does love pets, I will tell you that. Dave?
I'm gonna go with you. I mean, the tie with the character you created, and it's very much. I'm looking at an alternate version of the winged monkey.
Okay, right. That's Dorothy and Wizard of Oz. Any thoughts, Brad?
You know, I can only go on my own experience, and that is a detail I would probably leave to the artist to come up with. So.
Okie doke. All right. Well, I created Nick's the Scully Flyer. For the reasons the guys had already put. Again, heavy duty science fiction, action, adventure, and I wanted a bumbling little comedic element that would, alleviate some of that tension and suspense throughout. And so I created him. He did become a pest. Of Andrea always reminding me, hey, don't forget, Nix has to be in this sequence someplace, because I would keep forgetting him, till ultimately figured out what I could do to him or with him as such that would be, instrumental and vital to the entire story plot. And that works itself out by the conclusion at the end of issue number 6. So there you go. There are the characters that were created, the characters that are the principal players in the entire 6-issue miniseries. And of our little game contest here, guys, Tim and David had 8 points. Jose had 7.
Oh, so close.
Well done.
Nice.
All right, and Tim, if you want to show the crowdfunding page one more time.
Yes. And switch
Oh,
that
one more
over.
time? We're there at our time already?
Well, I want to thank you guys. This was a lot of fun. It really was.
We're having fun.
I didn't know it would be a test, though.
Pop quiz, Dave. Pop quiz.
All right. Let's go. Yes, it is live now. Again, it's running until May 5th. Several different options here. If you want to get that cover A in foil, and this is exclusive to placing a pre-order, that is currently our top feature there.
That cover A is going to look amazing in foil.
Yes. And of course, Tommy Formonti in the chat, he inked covers B and C. So if you want to, so if you want to get Jose Fuentes pencils with Tommy inks, go ahead and head on and get our $7 option to get a cover C. Of course, you can get 2 copies, different covers.
And there are some pages from the interior that you'll see on the site.
Yes. I have that mentioned here. Okay, don't have the features there, but there we go. Yes, we do have some original art as well.
Yep. And to give a shout out, as we should, the issue is, comes to you by way of Andrea.
That's right.
His friend and Angelo. I am not even going to try to say that last Italian name.
I consider trying it, but
No.
man, I'm just going to make him mad around the world.
and the estimable, super talented Mike Belcher did all the lettering.
Yes.
This is a project, again, I've been living with for 3 years now. I am so happy to see it coming to its big finale. Issue 5, I mean, is the real setup. It's the lead up. Okay.
Yep.
We've built up a plot, a narrative. We've given, hopefully suspense challenges. And by the end of issue 3, we were getting into the final solution for how the Science Warriors ultimately can save the Empire of Man. That all starts to bear fruit in issue 5, where they actually face physical enemies, trying to prevent them from what they're doing, to find the solution, get back to Haven, and save mankind. So I hope that, folks watching tonight, and we'll be, all over social media within the next couple of weeks promoting it. And those of you who read the first 4 issues and supported us and, let us know how much you enjoyed it. Thanks so much. Really appreciate that. And I'm giving you my word now. 5 isn't going to let you down, guaranteed.
That's awesome.
I gotta say,
Well,
also,
we've been prepping for that.
yeah,
Sorry, we've been prepping for that. So yeah. Go ahead, Jim.
I would say, and if you are needing to catch up, if this is your first time hearing about Beyond the Stars, or if you missed out on previous issues, you can get the physical catch-up tier, which is only $24. That is less than $5 a floppy, or I get the digital for $20. These are, that's cheaper than you'd get floppies at your local mom and grop shop.
Right.
So,
Yep, totally.
Yeah.
Just buy them all. Just all of them. Just make it happen.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Yes. And while you're at it, add on Wolf Hunter.
That's right. Buy them all, and then get, the books you missed out on, or are short an issue of Wolf Hunter, and
Yes.
everything else we do.
oh yeah, come on, Silverline's got such a great library out there,
We
guys.
really do.
Yes.
Definitely. And I'm going to say this: anybody who's picked up previous issues of Beyond the Stars, or going to pick up number 5, okay, you catch me at a convention, just walk right up, put it on the table, and I will happily autograph it for you. Believe me.
Absolutely.
And Jose will personally sign your copy if you bring him a Del Taco.
I will. I might even remark them.
There you go. Yes. And if you bring me a copy of Kalis, I will sign it as Brent.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. If you bring me anything, I'll sign it as Brett.
Right.
I will.
There you go. There you go.
The Constitution, sure.
Yeah. But yeah. Beyond the Stars is another great collection. Add it to your Silverline sci-fi omnibus that we are slowly building out with Kalis. Kalis Achilles has landed, Beyond the Stars, and maybe next year Soul Ascendant. But yes. Ron, thank you for sharing this campaign launch date with us. We're super stoked to follow the story as it we reach our penultimate issue and edge over close to conclusion.
Like I said, thanks for the opportunity. I really appreciate it, and especially to Roland as well, who's the big kahuna here. But again, thanks for playing along with the character game. I thought that would be a lot of fun, and hopefully everybody watching the show got a kick out of it. Again, just a little tease of what you're going to find in the story.
That's fun. That was fun, but I think it also kind of gives good insight into how the collaboration of it all works together, and even just at the character level. Yeah.
Or the fact that I have no clue how that works.
But you guys made some really insightful comments about all of that, and I was intrigued by it. And yeah, that was one of the underlying reasons for doing the game, is to show that the ultimate goal in any comics project is the story.
Right.
And from point one, Andrea and I, when we said, okay, we're going to digitally shake hands and do this, our mutual goal has been and remained all the way throughout every single issue is the story. And we've inspired each other back and forth with his characters, his original characters, by tweaking them, some of my original characters, and we made this thing work. I know he's proud of it, and believe me, guys, so am I.
You should be. I've read it. It's a great book. I mean, let me rephrase that. I've looked at the art because what I got didn't have any words on it. But it's beautiful, and the story of the books, because I have all the books, right? And it's a great story. It really is, Ron.
Thank you, Jose.
Definitely be very proud of it.
Yeah. Well, thank you. It's really, really kind. I really do appreciate that.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, we'll be back next week with a topic that is on a calendar that is.
We are really good at keeping that handy.
Yeah. Again, like I said before, comics doesn't necessarily pay, so you have your nut covered, get a day job, and then if you're doing stuff on the side like this, realize you're going to be running into some bandwidth issues. So handle yourself mentally well.
Where are we at? Launch parties, self-publishing floppies versus trades.
Yes, we'll be talking about now with the advent of Tommy over at Kablam, and the kind of the zeitgeist has changed on Kickstarter, because you no longer are limited to what you can print as an independent. You no longer need to do the 22 pages off the rip and only go with that. If you want to, you can go a full trade first rip, or if you're a publisher like TKO, you only work in completed volumes. Right. So we'll be talking about the pros and cons of choosing to self-publish as a floppy or as a trade paperback. What's the appropriate length for you to do for your story? Because it may come down to, do you already have something fully completed? Why not get the whole thing out there? Are you going to be telling an oddly paced story? You need to have weird page counts. That whole thing.
Listen,
yeah,
I have my.
It should be a fun topic.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yes. We will be back next time. Until then, make sure to head on over to the link at the below, the link in the chat, and get your pre-order placed for
Thunder.
Get your pre-order placed for Beyond the Stars number 5. And once that launches, come back and let us know how you liked it. Only positive feedback, please.
All right.
Yes.
Alrighty.
But
So
until that time, make mine Silverline.
Hey, this is Paul Pelletier. Make mine Silverline. Is that okay, Roland?